Deuteronomy 21:22. Vechi yehyeh ve'ish chet mishpat mavet vehumat vetalita oto al eitz. Now, notice we're going to begin here with the vechi. Now, this is giving us one of these if statements again, so it's conditional. And before I forget it, I want to point out here that the vav consecutive forms. Here we have the vav consecutive on a hofal perfect, and then here we have the vav consecutive on a call perfect. And we'll get to those verbs here shortly, but I want to show you the vav consecutives, or the vekatal forms, and they both are going to be following from this if. So in this particular case, the vav consecutive is not giving us the apodosis. If there's a sin, then he will be put to death, and then he will be hanged on a tree. We're going to see that at the end of this, we're actually going to get to verse 23 before we see the rest of it. So we begin with the if, and if there exists in a man, notice bait preposition here. The verb that we have is the call imperfect third masculine singular of the root haya, pretty familiar form there. If there exists in a man a sin or an offense of some sort, and then notice we get this construct package with the makef, a judgment of death. And again, that construct gives us the genitive relationship there, judgment of death. So if there exists in a man an offense, and here's what I would say, something like with the judgment of death, meaning it's an offense that deserves death, is how we would think about this. And he be put to death. Notice be put to death, because as I mentioned earlier, this is a hofal, so it's that passive causative. The verbal root is mot, and again, we have a hofal perfect third masculine singular here. He be put to death. Now notice in the hofal, that middle weak verb, we move the middle vav to the front for the hofal, and we end up with what I call a hufal. And that's just one of those elements of the weak verb morphology. Next, we get a call perfect, second masculine singular. Here, the verbal root is tala. Notice third hey, we get that yod dropping in, and then you see clearly here the ta sufformative of the two MP. And you hang him on a tree.